Have you ever really stopped to think about how you walk through a park? I mean, it seems so simple, right? You just walk. But what we're looking at today suggests it's anything but simple. The idea here is that a park isn't just a collection of trails and trees, it's actually a mirror, one that reflects our entire inner world in every single step we take. So let's take a walk together and see what the path reveals about us. And this, right here, is the core thesis. This one simple, powerful line sets the whole stage. It's proposing that there's a direct, unbreakable link between our physical movement and the entire quality of our lives. It's a pretty bold claim, so let's dive in and see how it all unfolds.
Okay, first up, we've got a style of walking I think we can all recognize, maybe a little too well. It's the distracted stroll. This is the person whose body is physically on the path, sure, but their mind is a million miles away.
I mean, come on, we've all been this person, haven't we? Your feet are moving, but your head is just somewhere else. You're replaying a conversation from work, you're building your grocery list, you're scrolling through your phone, and while all that's happening, the point is you're missing the entire symphony of nature that's playing out all around you. The bird song, the way the light hits the leaves, it's all just background noise. Now, here's a really important piece of perspective. This isn't about judging anyone. These walkers aren't the bad guys. They're just caught in the undertow of a modern world that is constantly screaming for our attention from 1,000 different directions. It's a state of being unaware, not some kind of moral failing.
So what's the alternative? If that's one end of the spectrum, what's on the other? Well, that would be what our source here calls the meditative step. And this is a totally different way of being on that same trail. It's slow, it's deliberate, and it's about being fully 100% present.
And wow, when you put these two side by side, the contrast is just stark. For the distracted walker, the goal is just transportation. It's about getting from point A to point B, getting the walk done. But for the meditative walker, the goal is exploration. One person is trying to conquer the trail, just check it off the list, while the other is trying to merge with it, turning a simple walk into something that feels almost sacred. And that's the absolute key. The meditative walker, they get it. They're not rushing to get to the end of the path because they realize the magic isn't waiting for them at some destination. The magic is in every single step, every breath, every single moment of the journey itself. So, our source lays out this whole spectrum of awareness, kind of like a path for the walker to evolve. You start as the unconscious walker, totally lost in your head. Then maybe you become semi-aware, the person who sees a pretty sunset, snaps a picture, but doesn't really feel it. The next step is the awakened walker, who's actually there, with presence and a sense of gratitude. And then, at the very top, you have the dragon, who feels this incredible, deep connection with absolutely everything. This leads us to such a beautiful idea. The park itself becomes a classroom. Nature is a teacher. If we can just quiet our minds enough to listen, the world around us is constantly offering these quiet, profound lessons. So, let's start with the creek that runs through the park. It's not just water moving over rocks, not at all. According to this way of seeing things, it's a living, flowing lesson happening right in front of us. Just think about it for a second. Water can wear down solid stone over centuries. That's persistence without any aggression. It never fights an obstacle. It just finds a way to flow around it. It shows us how everything upstream is connected to everything downstream. And it's this amazing paradox, right? The water you see is always changing, always moving, yet the creek itself remains. And what about the oldest residents of the park? The trees. They're just standing there like these silent, patient teachers, holding within them decades, sometimes even centuries of wisdom.
Trees teach us how to be deeply rooted and stable, but also flexible enough to bend with the wind so we don't break. They show us resilience, and they teach us about the rhythm of the seasons, that there's a time for growth and a time for letting go. And what's so fascinating is we now know they actually communicate and share resources through these hidden underground networks. They're teaching us about community right under our feet.
Okay, so let's go back to that final stage on the spectrum of awareness, walking like a dragon. This is presented as the absolute pinnacle, a state of complete and total unity with the world around you. So what does that mean? Well, here's the definition. This isn't about fantasy dragons. It's about a radical state of connection. It's that deep, gut-level understanding that you are not just a person walking on the earth. You are a part of the earth. You're inseparable from the ground, the air, and the entire web of life.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. It's an actual practice. The source describes this daily rhythm. The morning walk is for opening yourself up to the day, for communion. And the evening walk is for closing the day down, for releasing any burdens and just feeling gratitude. It's a really conscious way of moving through time.
When you have this level of awareness, your sense of scale it explodes. It's about feeling your steps joining this ancient pilgrimage of all beings, sensing the actual planet spinning beneath you, and understanding your tiny but still significant place in this vast cosmic dance.
So what does this all mean for us right now? Well, this entire explainer is really an invitation. It's an invitation to look at our own path and the way we choose to walk it every single day.
And here it is, the absolute heart of the matter. The physical path in that park is the same for every single person. The gravel, the trees, the creek, they don't change. What changes is our experience of them. And that experience is created entirely by the quality of our attention.
And you know what the best part is? This isn't some exclusive club. This isn't something you have to be special to achieve. The path from being totally distracted to being profoundly connected, it's available to every single one of us at any moment. All it takes, the source suggests, is being ready to take that very first conscious step.
And so we end right back where we began, but with this much deeper understanding. The idea expands outward, from walking to living, and finally to loving. It suggests that the simple act of paying attention, of choosing to be present instead of distracted on a walk, is the very same skill that shapes how we live our lives, how we love the people around us, and ultimately, how we create our entire reality. It all begins with a single step.